Ready? Do you want me to do the intro?
Go for it.
Right. Hello and welcome to Discussing Nothing, the show from YouMore with me, Alex. Obviously, you don't know my name, and Tristan. Well, hopefully you do know my name because this is not your first one. But anyway, we take the topics that we talk about in the office, and rather than wasting clients' time talking about them and billing it to a client, we decided we would waste our own time and put them in this show. 10 minutes on a random topic that is completely pointless. Are you ready?
I'm ready to inform some people about some important topics.
Well, I'm glad you've tuned in to get informed. Jordan, please tell us one of the random topics that we are discussing today.
So this week's topic is based on the nursery rhyme. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? But the question is, why can't a woodchuck chuck wood?
Okay.
Right.
Well,
Can you do the rhyme?
how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if woodchuck could chuck wood?
Is it how much wood would a woodchuck or how much wood could a woodchuck?
I think it's how much would a woodchuck chuck. I'll check it.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Definitely if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Is it could?
So, well, no, at the end it definitely is.
Surely it should be wood.
How much wood would it chuck if it could chuck wood?
That's the question.
Yes, wood.
Yeah.
It's how much wood would a woodchuck.
Well, there's actually an answer.
Oh, well, hold
It's
your
gonna be
little
it's gonna be a
horses.
short one.
Yeah. Well, we've got the answer. Why are we doing a whole podcast about it? Well, first of all, I think we've got to establish what a woodchuck is because I don't know.
Do they have opposable thumbs and fingers? Because that's a large part of being able to chuck anything, I would say.
Right. So I think before Googling it, because it must be a thing.
Woodchuck.
Yeah. Let's try and work it out.
Right. Well, from a name woodchuck, it's a little thing which chucks wood.
No, but it doesn't chuck wood.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm absolutely stumped. Because that doesn't offer much help.
No.
Why are you saying it doesn't chuck wood?
Because it's like how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if it could chuck wood? So it can't.
Yeah.
It wouldn't chuck
If
wood.
it could.
Rodent belonging to the group of a large ground squirrel known as marmots.
Right. Well, there you have it. No need for a discussion on what a woodchuck is.
No, but we don't get too many marmots.
I didn't even know what a marmot is.
No, well, exactly.
It's like a little otter thing.
Oh, a groundhog is a woodchuck. They're the same thing.
So it hogs ground as well as
Wow.
chucking wood.
So, but does it even hog ground?
Well,
'Cause it
probably
can't-
not because it doesn't hog. Like,
It doesn't chuck wood.
So another misleading.
I thought a woodchuck was like a person. Like a person that chops wood or something.
I think that's what I thought it was. Or a bird. Like a woodpecker.
I've got no clue.
Right.
Well, no, I do now. It's a
Sorry,
marmot.
can we just... All right, so we now know it's a little weird
Squirrel.
squirrel thing that does it. And what's the question?
Why
can't it chuck wood if it's called a woodchuck?
Right. Can it chuck wood?
Um.
Because that's... The rhyme says it can't.
Yes, but scientifically, the rhyme could be wrong.
I mean, there's lots of rhymes that are wrong.
Yep.
Like... we can cut this bit out of us thinking about
the
it.
three little piggies. I know that's not really.
Well,
right.
that's
They
true.
don't build houses, do they? Pigs. I've
Yeah,
never seen a pig
and
build.
wolves can't blow down a house.
No, definitely not.
Flip me. So we
Dang.
can establish that the woodchuck...
It could chuck wood.
It could chuck
we don't
wood.
know it doesn't.
So really,
Yet.
really, we're scamming little children out of knowledge.
Yeah,
We're teaching them bad things.
always been the case, hasn't it?
Just leave those little kids thinking woodchucks can't chuck wood, when in fact they might be able to. But the rhyme,
Well, and if they're little squirrels, they can hold things.
have the thumbs that you went back to. Yeah.
Puzzle thumbs, and so they'd surely be able to do that action.
Oh, hang on. What is chucking wood?
Chuck.
Oh, I thought chucking wood was chopping wood.
See, I thought that too.
I
I don't know where we got that from. I think it just sounds like it. Chuck. Like to chuck wood.
Maybe, but chucking in general, like if someone like I was like, oh, I'm gonna chuck it over there, I'd throw it.
Yeah, that's true.
It
So
could mean move, or it could mean upchuck,
up chuck.
What's an upchuck?
as in like throw up.
Don't know what's up with you.
What?
Like if it ingested it.
What's upchuck? What's up with you? Oh, what a great
It
joke.
invested ingested it,
Oh,
how much would it upchuck?
what? So how much would it throw up?
This is going on other levels from what I was expecting. I thought we were gonna stumble over the woodchuck thing, not over what chuck means. Like,
So does the rodent just throw up all the time?
maybe that's why it doesn't. That's why it couldn't throw up wood, because it doesn't eat wood.
How much wood?
Because that would
How
not
much
be conducive.
would a woodchuck throw up if a woodchuck could throw up wood? That's the question, based on that. Or it would be, if it was like throwing wood, it'd be how much wood could a woodchuck throw if a woodchuck could throw wood?
How many grams of
Of wood based on the animal size. Or if it was, so what we think Chuck could be throwing it, throwing up,
or chopping?
or chopping, but they would chop with their mouths, surely.
Yeah,
It's not
they
like
don't
they've
have
got little
little
mini axes.
Yeah, that'd be cute though.
They wouldn't need that. Like going to their little house and got with their axes on a little.
It's like little lumberjacks. Like,
Yeah. Like got little wood and they all go out to a little song.
yeah.
Maybe that's the song they sing on the way out.
What?
Yeah, like how much wood could a woodchuck? And it's just like the thing that it just became this little tune that they sang on the way out.
Maybe.
So, well, I guess we've got to
So-
decide. Do we have an answer of what chucking is?
Yeah.
Oh, we do have an answer.
We don't want to say it right now.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
So we've got three options of what we think chucking is.
Yes.
So we think
And we need to decide why it can't.
why
do
it
that.
can't do three of those, all
Okay.
three.
Well,
Surely it can throw up.
it could if it ate wood in the first place. Then
Does anything eat wood? Termites, do they eat wood?
Maybe.
What do they
actually.
eat? Or do they just burrow into the wood and eat something else? Wait, hang on. What do plants? No, plants don't eat. What would those dinosaurs that didn't eat meat eat?
Leaves.
Well, that's like its own tongue
I
twister.
feel like
Leaves.
yeah.
But did anyone eat a tree? No one eats bark.
no, I can think of, and definitely not
Just eat the green stuff.
like little squirrels.
No, they
that'd
don't
be-
eat it, do they? They eat nuts. which is
Yeah,
the beginning of a tree.
they're quite woody. Like,
Yeah, like
it's
surely
really
if
the
there's-
most woody of any food.
yeah, like if you've run out of nuts, surely you just
Eat a tree.
eat a tree while
It's
you're
like a
waiting.
gone off nut.
All right, so nothing. Something in my mouth. Nothing eats wood. So let's just assume it doesn't eat wood.
Good.
Good.
Um,
So
Does it?
it's either chopping it with tiny little mini axes or throwing it.
okay.
Does a beaver throw wood? Would that be considered throwing?
Surely we could if they wanted to.
A beaver?
Or yeah.
Like if you chop down a big tree, that's like throwing wood.
Yeah, I'd say so. But so wait, the question again is why can't it chuck wood?
Oh yeah.
Is it?
Right. Okay, let's establish what chucking is. I think that would help. Does anyone have the answer to chucking?
Well, a woodchuck doesn't actually. So chucking wood is throwing. Found that it is throwing.
Throwing. Right.
Yeah. And it says, well, a woodchuck doesn't actually chuck wood. They do in fact chuck quite a bit of dirt.
Plot twist.
Those could be called ground chucks.
Yeah, they should be called dirt chucks.
Why are they called woodchucks?
Someone just
It
wanted
comes
to
from
make.
the Algonquinian word "weejack."
Which means what?
Weejack.
Just be jack down the road.
Jack, was that your mate when you went to see Connor?
That's the word it originated from.
Weejack,
Yeah.
which became woodchuck,
Yeah.
which became dirt chuck.
Which is a groundhog.
Oh. Okay.
So, before we wrap up, we need an answer, but we need to understand what the original question was because we've gone around in circles. The original question was, how much wood could it chuck if it could chuck wood?
That's the original nursery rhyme.
So,
Was that the question?
But the question was, what is a woodchuck and why can't it chuck wood in the first place?
so we've established what a woodchuck is. It's a weird little,
It's a weejack.
a weejack, which
Yep.
is a little,
So the name's just really misleading
yeah,
because it's not what was intended.
no, and it doesn't chuck wood. But if
I
it
reckon
could
some-
chuck wood, is that the question?
Yeah, how much could it chuck?
How much could it chuck?
Someone just wanted to write a nursery rhyme and decided to lie to the populace I
Again,
think.
it just comes back to we're just lying to our children.
Yeah, basically. Don't lie to your children.
Don't lie to them.
Don't say that nursery rhyme.
Ban the nursery rhyme.
It's fake news.
It's fake news. People get cancelled.
But it's not saying it could. It's saying if it could.
All right. So how much would? How
I'm
much?
fake news.
No, you're fake news.
Yeah.
Well, you're getting.
So it's saying
you're
it
getting
can't
cancelled.
chuck wood, but if it could, how much would it chuck?
Okay. If it could chuck wood, it could probably chuck that. Could it chuck that plant?
If it's a little, if it's like, I'm just imagining a squirrel, and no, a squirrel couldn't chuck that.
You don't think a squirrel could chuck that?
Nah, it's too small.
The squirrel's too small
I think squirrels are too small. I think it could like sort of push it, but I think
to actually.
launch
Like
it.
a little squirrel, just like look. Right. So let's put that into wood terms. So a relatively small stick it could chuck,
Yeah,
but no,
sort of
he's no lumberjack.
like exactly. It's not a lumberjack. It's a wee jack.
Because if it's a weed jack, if you reference the size of a human being compared to the size of a tree that it cuts down, like we're very small. So a squirrel should be able to cut down like a really big tree, but it can't. A squirrel-based weed jack would be able to. So actually, it sucks. A very small piece of wood
Yeah.
is the answer.
Yeah, at a time, but maybe it could chuck lots in quick succession because squirrels are pretty hyper. Like, they
That is true.
yeah,
Right. So not a lot of wood. Couldn't chuck a lot of wood, but it could chuck. It couldn't chuck a large quantity. It could chuck a large quantity,
but in small amounts.
but in small amounts. That's your answer.
Bang.
So hopefully you've learned something about what a woodchuck is and why it can or can't chuck wood, and in fact it's a weed jack that chucks dirt.
Yep.
Apparently. Well, that was almost a tongue twister in itself. Challenge you to say that.
You want to know what the actual answer is?
Oh, there's an actual
there's an
answer.
actual
Yeah. 700 pounds.
On a good day.
In a day.